Welcome back, viewers. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi has kicked off his US visit for the first meeting with the newly re-elected Donald Trump, the US President, all eyes remain on a number of key issues between the two world leaders. A major one being the citizenship and then the immigration. With President Donald Trump's stance on banning the birthright citizenship, the US's outlook on immigration and citizenship seems tough. The PM's visit is likely to throw light onto India's hope that the Trump administration will safeguard legal migration pathways for its citizens, amid worries that the US will cut the number of permits for the Indian citizens. The Trump-Modi Bonhomie bilateral meeting raises the questions: will Trump prioritize India? Is the big question. Manan Dwivedi, foreign affairs expert, is joining me live on the broadcast. Appreciate you joining me live and back on the broadcast. I will start from the big question that remains at large. Is Trump likely to prioritize India, as in fact the bonhomie can be witnessed quite literally?
I personally feel, Simran, that going by the kind of vituperations and the kind of bites and the speeches which President Donald Trump has provided India and the rest of the world with since 2017 in Trump 1.0, there is a lot of haystack searching that India has to do as far as if we want to understand what Trump says and what he means and what he acts. So there is a lot of rhetoric and verbiage and loud talk, which is part of the diplomatic style and the governing and communicating style of President Donald Trump. This is one part of it. And I would just say that as far as immigration is concerned, as something which you were talking upon, Americans are open to Indian concern, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also pretty open to it. And I was going across a few reports. And what I found was that President Trump directly called up Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi, being the mature senior country that India is, and being the mature head of state he is, he assured very categorically President Donald Trump that if India finds that some of the illegal immigrants are of Indian origin, that is, if they are found to be Indian citizens, then India would be the first country to take a call to withdraw its own citizens from America. And some kind of a bad blood has been created, maybe as part of propaganda and rhetoric by various political parties in India, that the impinging upon the fact that people came in, that Indian immigrants came in the Hercules transport aircraft all the way to Amritsar and chained. They were in chains and they were in some sort of an obstacled condition. But these things have not been ascertained as far as the news reports are concerned. And as far as India is concerned, I think India always gets a special treatment from America. And what all diatribes have happened about India, it was mostly, I'm not saying always, I'm saying mostly during the Biden administration, and something which can be tritely mentioned here. That is the deep or the dark state over which even the American White House does not have complete control. So I think the deportation of Indian immigrants is not going to worsen the relationship between India and America, but new phases would be reached. A strengthening and the deepening of the ties will take place. Apart from this, the way there has been exchanges, very buoyant exchanges, as far as critical and emerging technologies are concerned, before Modi ji went, Riyadh J.M. the American USTR met with Piyush Goyal, India's commerce minister, and a review in the ICT transactions between India and America were held by Biden too, and Trump would also not run away from it. Apart from this, I personally feel that tariff and the trade wars remain a very ticklish issue. As far as the general relationship between Trump and Narendra Modi is concerned, President Trump has very commonly and popularly gone on to contend that India is a tariff king. But side by side, as a balancing act and as an evidence of his personal chemistry with the Indian Prime Minister. He has gone on to say that Modi is a good person, Modi is a friend, and as Prime Minister Modi says very commonly, Mitro. So there happens to be a personal bonhomie and a chemistry which is very much essential for any diplomatic parley to ensue between two nations, whether it be some other country or India or US. I personally feel that the issue of tariff has to be sorted out between India and America, but I don't think India will get a special treatment because India happens to have been instrumental in a trade deficit for America, which is of the order of $46 billion, which does not enamor President Donald Trump with the Indian trade practices. This is where India has to make realistic compromises wherein India can reduce its tariffs as it has done on the Harley Davidson motorbike and on other products. And if such transactional measures are taken by India, then I don't think there is going to be a major fracas as far as the economic relations between India and America go. This is how I look at it.
Well, absolutely, Mr. Dwivedi, as you are rightly putting this in perspective, and the details of